Hi everybody, it's Alyssa. I'm going live today with Tips Tuesday because I kind of had a couple people asking about the well-being of my digital piano that got wet last week. So I want to give you the good news that the keyboard is alive and well today. And so in light of that, I thought it would be a great day to talk about what to do when your digital piano or keyboard gets wet. Now, obviously, the best thing to do for any keyboard or piano is to prevent it getting wet by not putting liquids on or near the piano. I made this mistake by having a shelf near my piano and backhanding a bottle of water, which somersaulted across the piano, and it was very, very sad. So don't do what I did. Keep liquids below the level of the piano, not on top. But let's say it does happen and you do get liquid on your piano. What do you do in that moment? So there are going to be three things you're going to do. One, you're going to shut it off. You're going to shut it off as fast as you can shut it off because you don't want things short-circuiting. So hit that off button. Then you're going to run like a mad person to get anything you can to dry the piano as quickly as possible. So towels, paper towels, whatever you can to soak up as much water and try to keep it out of the interior of the piano. Focus on the keys and the buttons first. Okay? Once you get that done, if your keyboard is light enough, what you can do is flip it over and let the water drain out. So let's say you have a lighter digital keyboard, whatnot, you take it off the stand and you flip it over so the keys face down. And then the last thing you're doing is you're going to leave it there. You don't want to turn it on for a couple of days because when liquid gets down into the key beds and stuff, it takes a while to get it out. And it's going to take a while for it to dry. Now, if you're working with just water, not like coffee or Kool-Aid or something like that, you're in luck because you don't have sugar and other kinds of things inside the piano to deal with. But if you ended up with something like coffee, soda, that kind of thing, you could have things that could be acidic and eating at the wiring underneath your piano. So another reason not to keep that kind of liquid near the piano. But let's say it's just water. You let it sit, you let it dry for a couple of days as best you can. And yes, my husband makes a good comment there. Yes, unplug it as well, because you could have current running through the piano even if it's shut off. So thanks, babe. Yes, so make sure it's unplugged. A couple of days later, if it was just water, you can flip it over, plug it in, try it out, see if it's working. Now, in this case, mine, when I plugged it back in and turned it on after 2 days, all my C's and F sharps were dead. It was not good. I was very nervous about this. But I turned it off, I gave it another couple of days and came back and it was fine. So that could be the case with yours. Like I said, though, if you are dealing with coffee and sugary drinks, other stuff like that, you may have more to contend with. So if you turn it on and you're hearing problems with the way it's functioning, or maybe you're not hearing a lot of problems, but you know there was a lot of coffee that got in it or something like that, you may need to have it taken apart and cleaned. Now, depending on how expensive your piano was, where you got it, what kind of investment you put in, if this is a $50 keyboard you got from your cousin, that may or may not be worth your time. If it's more expensive than that, you may want to look into hiring a technician. Most companies have a piano digital keyboard technician that does this kind of thing. If you're a DIYer and you're willing to risk it, YouTube is a helpful place. You can try to unscrew it, take it apart, and clean, the stuff under the key beds yourself, of course, when it's turned off. So that would be up to you as to kind of what you want to risk and how you want to do that. Now, when you're talking about an acoustic piano, with stuff getting onto the acoustic piano, you don't have to deal with the wiring problems, but then you're dealing with things like the wood in the key beds and stuff absorbing that water. So once again, acoustic piano, you probably is not light enough to flip it over to fix it, to let the water dry out. But the same principle applies. Soak up as much of the water as you can. And then if you notice it a few days later where your keys are sticking and that kind of stuff, you could try changing the air humidity maybe, but other than that, you're probably going to want to call a piano tuner, and those guys usually fix mechanical problems in the keyboards, in acoustic pianos as well, and they could give you a better idea on what you're going to need. So, summarizing all of that, if you get liquid on your piano, unplug it, shut it off, dry it off as best you can and flip it over, and then don't turn it on for a couple of days. And for acoustic pianos, dry it as best you can. Maybe turn a fan on, keep an eye on it for a couple of days, and then if it doesn't come back, you want to call the appropriate technician as soon as you can. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that you do not find yourself in a situation where you need that like I did. And I hope that you do the wise thing and keep liquids off your piano as much as possible because it's not worth them getting wet. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope you're having a fantastic October 6th and that you're enjoying the beautiful fall weather wherever you're at. We'll catch up with you another time soon. Bye.